Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to use the first initial of your first and last name, R.A., and you just did the integrated writing practice test number 10 of my 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And I'm Michael. I'm the founder, the materials writer, and the owner of all of your lessons, and I'm your TOEFL teacher here at Cal State University, San Bernardino. Thank you for doing the practice test. And let's get started. Now, what I want to do right now is I'm going to read your practice test, and as I read it, I probably will make some corrections. So you say, according to the reading lecture, I would say passage, not lecture, just put garlic. Garlic has a lot of benefits for humans, plural. And then you put because had many uses. I don't even think you need that. Just say, according to the reading passage, garlic has a lot of historical uses. Just say that. Historical uses. Put Egyptians. Maybe put for example there to help show that you're giving an example to help support the idea that you just said. In the Egyptians, or the Egyptians used, don't put they, just put the Egyptians used garlic to cure about 22 different diseases. Put and they also used it to work stronger, or to have more strength when working. The Romans and the Greeks used it to cure, I wouldn't put them, put to cure illnesses and to break spells and curses. They believed it could make soldiers more courageous. Again, I would change it and say they believed garlic could make soldiers more courageous. A lot of famous scientists like Horm and Mrcoo, these aren't scientists, they're explorers according to the reading passage. These are people who travel from one country to another and they explore the new country, those kinds of things. You say, because it helped them when they went anywhere. But how did it help them? According to the reading passage, it gave them more strength, it made them healthier, it gave them more courage, right? And then put, also garlic was used in the World War I because it helped the soldiers fight well. It fought off infectious diseases, which you didn't say. You say, according to the listening lecture, a lot of researchers believe that garlic has a lot of benefits and power for anyone. You have the researchers said that garlic can kill a lot of bacteria. It can kill more than 20 kinds. Also, it affects the blood because the oil helps control patients. You're missing too many key points here. The listening passage, it actually disagrees with some ideas from the reading passage. It talks about how it doesn't agree that garlic can be used to cure spells and curses. And also the lecture doesn't believe, as the reading passage suggests, that it can make workers stronger. So there's a few ideas in the listening passage that you didn't mention, but they were important to mention because it shows exactly what the relationship is from the listening passage to the reading passage. So you're struggling. You're struggling a lot here. You're struggling, I think, with your listening. Your reading is not very good. You're not really getting the main points from the reading passage. You're not getting the main points from the listening passage. You could not connect them together. You didn't even put an introduction. You needed to have an introduction that would kind of state the topic of the reading and the topic of the listening and explain what the relationship was, and you didn't even do that. So how would you score here? On this particular task, if we take a look at the rubrics that are used to give you a score, and let me click on the link here really fast and I'll discuss it a little bit more, and you can also click on the link in the YouTube video. I'm going to put you in the 1 range, unfortunately. You'll probably score about 1.25 out of 5, I'm going to say 10 points out of 30 on this one. So you really have little meaningful, relevant content from the lecture. You haven't really presented the information in a very organized manner, and your language errors are so severe that it's difficult to get the meaning of your ideas. Your vocabulary is very limited, your grammar is very limited, it's preventing you from expressing your ideas. So what do? Do you give up? Of course not. But what you want to do is you need more experience with the language. You want to read newspapers, read magazines, read books. You need more exposure with the English language, especially in its written form. And that's going to help you have better control over your grammar, over your vocabulary. I do have some suggestions of some lessons I think you should focus on in my 7-step system. Here they are. You want to focus on listening lesson number 1.1, 3.0, 4.0, 7.0, 8.0, 11.0, 12, 14, and lesson 17. You really need to focus in those listening lessons. They will tell you how to take notes, how to listen, and give you different strategies on how to improve your overall listening comprehension. Also, reading lessons 8.0, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, and also lesson number 19. You really need to focus in those reading lessons to have better strategies of how to read. Grammar. I suggest grammar lesson 1, 1.1, 2, 3, and also grammar lesson number 4. For writing, I recommend at this point writing lesson 7.0. Now, what you should do, which I think is going to be helpful for you, is for the next month, I recommend that you do at least one practice test at the 7-step system each week. Do at least one practice test per week so you can get more feedback from us, so you can get comments. You can see how you're scoring, you can see why, and you can also see what lessons you might want to review. Now, as your score goes up, I will give you different lessons based on those scores, but right now I'm giving you some of my basic lessons to help you based on the score that you just got right now. Alright, anyway, thank you for doing the practice test, and it was a pleasure having you in my class for this quarter.